A woman who was cheated out of her life savings in a romance scam doesn't believe she'll ever get her money back. Carolyn Woods claims she lost £850,000 after meeting Mark Acklom in a shop in Gloucestershire 12 years ago. He claimed to be an MI6 agent in order to convince her to loan him money. Martin Jones reports.
Jailed for fraud in 3 countries. Mark Acklom, one of the world's most notorious conmen.
He appears to give you what you want, but you never get it. He just walks away with everything.
Carolyn Woods met him in the shop where she was working in Gloucestershire 12 years ago. A few months later, she'd given him every penny she had, over £800,000. He told her he was an MI6 agent, a business tycoon, a property developer.
He was very exciting, I have to say, at the time, until I realised actually just how evil he was.
He went to great lengths to convince her. On one occasion, she saw him walking past armed guards at the MI6 headquarters in London. She now assumes the guards were actors and the whole incident was staged.
These are the kind of mind games that he played. And then there was, of course, the other one where he told me he had a brain tumour. And he showed me photographs of, allegedly, his brain with the tumour.
He put Carolyn up in this luxury flat in Bath to convince her of his wealth. He was actually using her money to pay for it. He promised to marry her. She even bought the wedding dress that she never got to wear.
I never would have had a relationship with Mark Acklom, a convicted criminal, married with 2 children. The person I thought I was in a relationship with didn't exist. There was no such person. You just feel so abused when you have been in that kind of relationship.
Mark Acklom took Carolyn's money 12 years ago and was jailed for defrauding her in 2019. There is a court case in progress aimed at ordering him to repay her, but the final hearing won't be until December.
Do you ever think you'll get any of the money back?
I think that's highly unlikely. I would say no, I don't really think I'll get any of the money back. However, I do think that he should be obliged in law to pay me back, whether I ever see the money or not.
Mark Acklom is currently living in Spain after being let out of jail in Britain 3 years ago. But as a manipulative liar and lifestyle criminal, can he ever really be forced to pay up? Claire is a forensic investigator who says criminals can be automatically sent to prison if they don't pay when told to by the courts.
There is some hope. The prospect of spending a lengthy period of time in prison does kind of remind people where they've hidden things or what bits of assets they've got.
Now, Carolyn has also asked Barclays Bank to repay her. There's no doubt a huge amount of money did go out of her account. On this statement alone, over £900,000. But she says she was manipulated into making the payments. And she suspects an insider at the bank may have turned a blind eye.
I had hoped that they might feel some moral obligation to do that. I mean, if you look at my bank statements, you can see this total hemorrhage of money. Now, I know that I made some of those transactions under the coercive control of Mark Acklom. Some of them I don't actually know that I did make them, because in one day there are 3 transactions of £30,000 each that went out of my account.
Barclays have refused to pay Carolyn back and told us in a statement the matter had been thoroughly investigated. They found no evidence their staff assisted in the fraud. We also asked the Ministry of Justice specific questions about Carolyn's case. They told us in general more cases are being seen in the courts and they're investing in the system. So Carolyn is still waiting. 12 years on, she fears time is running out. Martin Jones, BBC Points West.